Well, hello, my babies, and welcome to another wonderful episode of Spiritual Tea Time with Reverend Patience. I am Reverend Patience, of course, your lovely host. And we tonight are going to be talking about spiritual sovereignty, which means claiming your spiritual energy, power, and use them to explore your divinity and your sacred relationship. It is the pivotal shift of consciousness from the lands of forgetfulness, dreams, unconsciousness, and realizing the ever present source within yourself. And to help me talk about this is my lovely spiritual sister, High Priestess Gussy Dupp. Let me introduce them. Well, hello, beautiful. How are you?
Hey, lady, how are you? I'm trying to adjust my damn camera here. I apologize about that. You'd think after doing, how many years of live streams.
Oh, it's all good.
That it would be an easy peasy thing, but it's always it's always in movement. It's always in flow. How you doing?
Girl.
I can't hear you.
Extremely blessed and highly favored and still pissing off all the... You can't hear me?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Mercury retrograde. Okay. Well, as I was saying, extremely blessed and highly favored and still pissing off all the right people, especially in the spiritual and magical communities, baby.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, I know, right? I've been laying kind of low lately.
I don't blame you. Usually I'm laying low and everything, but when you constantly are finally now getting messages from your ancestors saying, remember who the fuck you are, and then it is time because of my situation and what I've been dealing with and everything.
Yes, I do.
And I have been told to play the possum, play the possum, play the possum. Well, possum ain't playing dead no more.
Yeah, no. Hey, this is not for you. Go. My little
real
husky.
Quick. I love them. They love
this
to talk
is
so
Kelly.
much. Hi, sweetie. Christy Reed says hello. Thank you for the love
Christy.
and joining us. And Gotha Rica Vegan in New York says meow. Thank you for joining us, ladies. And like I said, tonight's show, me and Gussy are going to be talking over what it is what exactly is spiritual sovereignty and how to recognize it and how to work with it, because like I said, it's, remembering, the lands of forgetfulness and dreams and unconsciousness. Because I know I have the problem because if I don't keep a dream journal, especially and everything, and you know how you have those very vivid dreams that it feels no different than the 3D you're in, and as soon as you open your mouth and you want to tell somebody about it, it's like poof, gone.
Yes.
Like, oh.
As a matter of fact, a group of folks that Grim and I are mentoring right now on a year in a day program, and that topic has been coming up a lot lately about, even if all you do is remember like a word or a scene from your dream, jot it down because it all might make sense later,
Yep.
And I love what you said earlier about your ancestors speaking up. That kind of, well, it's all on a spectrum for everybody, and it's all divine timing, of course. But that happened to me a few years ago. And I actually had a woman who, she's an enigma to me. I'll tell you about her sometime. She's really an interesting character in my life. But she was the one that told me to remember. She said, Gussy, remember. And although she and I parted ways, I've kept that in my heart because she said it with such like intensity. I knew this was like 5 years ago. I was like, something, she means something more than my mind can kind of construct or put together right now. But over the last several, 4 or 5 years, I've given that same advice to so many people when I counsel them, because it is like we all have some sort of collective amnesia.
Oh, yeah.
And I was meditating a bit before I came on here with you, and I was thinking about spiritual sovereignty. And I don't know about you, and I'm not dissing the Christian pantheon at all. They can do what they do, and I actually, as you do, we both use the Bible for certain things. I use it for divination purposes, and I know that you also were raised in a certain tradition, and it's like we can't really erase that part of our lives. We can't say, oh, well, I'm a witch now, but I was a Christian then, and so I can't think about any of that stuff that I learned when I was 7, when I was 12. But I believe that where that all went wrong is we were all taught that we couldn't reach that spiritual connection with God unless we went to church, unless we talked to the pastor, unless we, did all of these things. And then maybe if we were slightly good enough, then we could move on. But that's one of the things that I love about the path that we're on, is that I can choose if, when, and how I talk to my God. Well, I'm monopolizing the conversation. You speak up. I'm gonna smoke.
That's one of the reasons why I, got ordained to the Universal Life Church. It's not because it is a Christian church. It recognizes all paths to source. As long as you treat everyone with love and respect, tomato, baby. All right. Your path is your path. And then when born again hypocrites come preaching to me, I said, Matthew 3, baby. Okay.
Yeah.
Only God and his lovely wife and everything can be Big Mama and Big Daddy can do me. Okay. And
absolutely.
Growing up in the Bible Belt in the South and everything, you definitely, especially like in the hoodoo tradition, you have no choice to be using the Bible and everything. So you can be out and open, but in plain sight, so you can work and do your thing. And people, even like my husband, who's a Mason and everything, will tell you one of the most powerful books of magic is the Bible. Because you know how all these babies are always, Psalms this, Psalms that. A true worker knows all the Bible verses, Old Testament, New Testament, can be used, because you couldn't openly, because especially in your small little towns, like in the big cities, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like down home, like down in the South, in any major city, witches are accepted. But if you go out into the country, they gonna lynch your ass if you go plain out, all and everything. And also another thing is, I try to remind people all the time, because they think if you're not Wiccan, you're not a witch. I said, honey, true witchcraft has nothing to do with any religion. It is a spiritual practice.
Absolutely.
We are the healers. We are the spiritual warriors.
It's our connection to God, our ancestors, the elements, nature.
Exactly. It has nothing to do with any religion. That's why there's so many types of different witches. That's why every culture since ancient time has a word for us.
Exactly.
Trust me, I've dealt with some of the folks and everything trying to tell me I wasn't a true witch because I wasn't wicked. I said, honey, what my family practiced, it's way older than any of that fluff bunny crap that you like to do, that you try to shove down my throat as a racist.
Exactly.
And everything.
Now, my family wasn't Appalachian, but my family on my mother's side, which is where I learned most of my stuff. My grandmother, she was Bohemian. So, but it was very similar to what you're saying. It was, she was a United Church of Christ. What? Grim is here. I'm sorry. What did you say, babe?
We've got a whole chat group of people want to know how to find this.
Oh, how do we find? Oh, We have a bunch of people in a chat group looking for our live stream right now. So
tell them to go to Indigo Psychics TV YouTube channel.
Indigo Psychics TV YouTube channel. Can you tell them that? Thank you, love. Anyways, Grandma, you know, her magic was in cards. People would come over to play cards. And while they were playing cards, usually rummy, she would flip the cards and say all sorts of things that and when I was a child, I was just enamored. Indigo Psychics
TV
on YouTube. The guy that can't spell. Indigo.
Indigo. INDIGO.
Oh, that's funny.
Well,
but also,
I'm not surprised because playing cards are the ancestors of that are the tarot cards. They're just minus the arcana. The only thing they keep is the Fool card at the Joker.
Exactly. And my grandmother used to make noodle soup. Now, when I was a kid, I just thought it was Grandma's wonderful noodle soup that like nobody can compare. Everybody in the family has tried to recreate her soup recipe. None of us can do it, even though we use all the same ingredients, because Grandma had some kind of magic, I am telling you. And people would come by. You know, I don't even know how they knew when she was making soup. These are things that I wish I wish she'd lived longer into my adulthood so I could ask her some of these questions, you know. But her soup was very healing, and there was just so much that I feel like our ancestors had to keep it hidden, of course, and cloaked. So even within that, we've lost a lot because, you know, you can't keep something in the shadows for so long that it doesn't end in the shadows permanently. But I feel like there are enough of us, you and me and folks like us, that are out there reminding people that, yes, you do have this ability to connect with your God, whoever you view as that. I don't care. As a matter of fact, Patience, you know what? All this Republican, Democrat, all this stuff going on right now, I really wish that everybody could just say, hey, we believe in God. And I am sorry for those that are atheist, because I know that they don't believe in God, but even so, I think half of our world problems would be resolved if we would all just forget about naming some deity, either Jesus Christ or, you know, whoever it is that you pray to, but like God, if we could all just agree on some sovereign, you know, this is where we're all kind of journeying in the long run. But everybody has to argue about it so much. I'm probably smoking too much weed. I'll shut up. I don't know. It's overly complicated to me.
Oh, I know. But real quick, a few hellos. Laura Joe Cheyenne says hello. Jennifer says hello, and
hi,
Brother Grimm says hello.
Hey, Grimm.
Hi.
You know, when he knew I was going to talk with you tonight, he didn't want to be too far away because he always enjoys these conversations too. We always get up to some really good information. So back on the topic of sovereign journey, sovereign spiritual path. When do you think you started on yours? Like, was it recently, or can you trace it way back? Probably when you were a young girl, right?
Oh, ever since I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
Constantly. Well, see, the big contradiction was, you know, when you grow up with parents that, you know, especially with your mama being a radical hippie back in the day before she, you know, became a born again Reaganite back in the 80s. I mean, come on, she was there at Woodstock, gave birth to my brother there, you know, swinger in the 70s with my daddy and everything. Come on, we went to nudist camps until I was 5, you know. All of a sudden, fire and brimstone. If you ever look at another naked body again, you're going to burn in hell, and this and that. And so it made me question everything and everything, you know. And then always being drawn to different, ancient cultures and their mythology, and how could this be this and how could it be that, because she always, especially, and then my dad being the radical hipster that he was and everything, because my parents, they marched with Martin Luther King back in the day, type of stuff.
Yes.
So growing up with my parents doing that to me, it made me want to question everything. And then having my spiritual gifts and being able to see certain things, and then at 8 years old, all of a sudden you're being taken to the church and they're having the prayer team lay hands on you to break off forms of hereditary witchcraft and psychic abilities and demonology that runs in, which of course didn't work because you can't pray away spiritual gifts. Because the thing is that my mama finally confessed, now that I'm almost 50 years old, finally told me my spiritual gifts scared them because I was so much stronger than the pastor's wife, the first lady of the church.
Yes.
And she didn't want to be outshone by me.
Yes.
Because born again hypocrites don't want to recognize the church is full, no matter if it's Catholic or Protestant, full of people like us. But they just don't use the W word, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, exactly.
We're prophetesses, have the gift of prophecy. We're prayer warriors, keep it in the prayer closet.
I don't know if you've been following us at the old church or not. That's our latest. I'm done, babe. Thanks.
Of course.
Well, it's been really a really interesting education on the community, because we have quite a few folks that want to gather and will gather for our soul care brunches and such. But we've also received a bit of pushback from the local Christian community, because there's one pastor in particular in the area that has, well, actually two that I know of now, that have told their congregations that if they come to any of our events, then they're not a true Christian. If they're looking for, any kind of, we even had it. We had a peace portal. We called it a prayer portal. I mean, so it was more open to other alternate beliefs.
More inclusive. Yeah.
Right. And nobody, of course, showed up. Well, our folks showed up, but nobody from. And that's too bad, because, I think we all speak a similar language.
That right there
exactly. Tomato, honey.
Yeah, tomato, exactly. What'd you say, Greg?
That right there is a theft to spiritual sovereignty, being told where and how you can practice.
You're absolutely right.
Oh yeah, and those type of people, like I've spoke before and everything about when I had posted about, I am not a Christian, I am not associated with any religion, and I refuse to be associated with, because 99.9% of the Christians who belong to a church are nothing but a born again hypocrite. And they are no different than what the Pharisees and the Sadducees were in the Bible. Because trust and believe me, if Christ came back right now, they would re-crucify him all over again for being a fucking liberal.
Oh, yeah.
I got to throw this out real quick. My born again hypocrites, Jesus Christ is not real. That is not his name. That's a made-up construct by Pope Alexander IV, better known as Rodrigo Borgia. The picture that you think of Jesus is his son, Cesare Borgia. Okay? Jesus was not a white Spaniard dude, all right? And he was called Jesus before he was called Jesus, which is a knockoff of the name Zeus. They took Krishna and shortened it to Christ, and Zeus, and put a J on it. There is no J. And this is a woman who is part Sephardic Jew, and grew up learning Hebrew language and all that stuff in Bible school with in Hebrew language school. So
I didn't know that either. Interesting.
There is no J in the Jewish alphabet. His name is Yeshua, and they're trying to say, "Oh, Yeshua means my salvation." No, it doesn't. It's the fucking Hebrew name for Joshua.
Right.
You've been praying to Joshua. Hello.
And when he was alive, he studied Gnosticism. He was Jewish, yes, by birth, but he was not.
He learned Buddhism. He traveled with his uncle, who was the Tin Man and everything. They have proof of him being here. Buddhism is older than freaking Christianity, and they try to say it was the other way around, but they finally have no choice because the truth is out.
Yes. I can't remember. I am not good at quoting Bible verses like you. So I'm not even
Honey,
going to try. But there's
girl,
one.
I grew up going to schools where they had every week. You had to say a weekly Bible verse in school chapel. You know, each grade would go, you know, do their thing and say their Bible verse. And girl, bye.
Right. Wow. Well, I only had to memorize some for catechism because I was Lutheran. So our exposure was even less than yours. My exposure to the divine was only through prayer and
when the 80s
hymns.
hit and Mama was going through her thing, we went to so many different types of churches. And then my mama belongs to a church lady group made of both Protestant and Catholic women. They're called the Morning Glories. They're all the same type. They're little Christian witches known as prayer warriors. They're so cute. They go to different little nursing homes and sing songs and do little skits for the old folk. But when they're not doing that and it's off season, they meet once a month, and it always happens to be around the full moon to celebrate everybody's birthday, catch up on the tea about what's been going on in their lives and what's going on in their churches, and then add everybody to the prayer list at church.
Right. I'm trying to think. And I can look it up because I have it written down in my book of shadows, but there is a Bible verse, and I want to say it's Isaiah, but it basically says, gather under the moon and celebrate. You know, and there is so much magic in the Bible that people are afraid of. They can't even, when they read the Bible, they're not even reading it. Like they're just skipping over these things because I think their minds aren't open enough to really understand the words. And I don't mean that in a derogatory statement.
It's because there's so many different versions of it. Because so many people have manipulated it and everything for so many times, putting in what they want, what they don't want. I don't agree with this and everything. You know, with especially like out here, you would think being out in the bump up, you know, where I'm at and in the country, you wouldn't be having Jehovah's Witnesses show up at your door, but they do. And then they're dumbfounded at a woman like me who has doctorates in world religions and religious science and, you know, a few other things. They're like, oh, let's talk about. I'm like, what? Which version? I'm sitting in my library office. I got about 16 different versions of the Bible. Which one do you want? I'll go pull it out. Oh, let's do the King. Oh, you want to speak of the version that was written by a misogynist gay asshole that hated women and had issues with his mama? Because if you're a psychologist and you read through the Bible, knowing that demonologist Masonic brother as well, when you read through it, you realize he had major issues with. Because when you read, and also two people, Christ and the disciples did not speak Hebrew, did not speak the Greek, did not speak the Latin, did not speak English. Okay. My born again hypocrites. They spoke Aramaic, the first Semitic language. And the two branches off of that is Hebrew and Aramaic. So there's actually 3 Semitic languages. So when you're saying anti-Semitic, that's not just doing nasty things against Jewish people. So when you do anything against anyone who speaks any of those 3 languages, you're still being anti-Semitic. But that's another story. But the thing is that when you read like Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be. Nope, that's not what it says, baby. If you were to take the time and learn the ancient dead language of Christ and the disciples, the Aramaic, you will see, oh, great cosmic birther of the universe, giver of life.
Right. Well,
that's
I know that originally,
because the church doesn't want you to know that God has a hidden wife.
Right. Well, because I remember being a little girl and being really confused about this. Okay, I get it. There's the Father and the Son, and then there's this Holy fucking Ghost thing. What the hell is that? Well, that is the sacred feminine.
Oh, yeah. Originally, the Holy Ghost was considered female, and now she's become the feminized version is like Santa Muerte, became the angel of death. That's how they treat her and everything. And then also, too, the first 1,000 years of the church was Gnostic. First 1,000 years of the church before St. Patrick, there was no Trinity, people. Because I used to hear from my mama, they're not a real Christian church because they don't believe in the Trinity. Oh, okay. Didn't get it. But after doing my studying and schooling and everything, I remind my mama, and guess what, mama? Not to believe in the Trinity actually is very Christian because the first 1,000 years of the church, there was no that because I made her watch the true history of how Halloween was developed. Because when I was a child, like I said, before she became the born again Reaganite, I sat there, was having all these fun parties and going to harvest and Halloween parties and trick or treating it. All of a sudden, it's the devil's holiday. It's the devil's holiday. You can't do this. You can't do that. Blah blah blah. Blah. And then she would try to enforce that on my children. I said, "Oh hell no! My children will be raised, and this is a time that we honor and bring up our prayers and go to the grave and clean gravestones and bring food and spend time with our loved ones that passed. That's what this time is. That's why the veil is, so you can help with the healing process of the deathing and the passing of the physical body and everything. It has never been about doing the devil. You Protestant Christians have perverted it. If you don't realize, Halloween is a Christian holiday started by the Roman Catholic Church to convert the pagans. It is not a pagan holiday. Samhain is.
Yeah, there's so much.
I've been wanting to. This time of year
so,
to me.
It's so convoluted, and there's so much intertwined. One of the gals that I speak to regularly texted me yesterday, and she said, "Well, one of my Christian cousins finally sent me a text message saying that she was frightened for my soul. She doesn't want me to lose my salvation. She wants me to go to heaven, and she's worried about the path that I'm on." And I'm with you on that whole hypocritical thing, like, for some reason, it's believed that you can go out and like treat other people and other critters, other creatures terribly badly. But as long as you ask for forgiveness, we got you covered.
Oh, no.
And I just don't think that's how this works. Does that really make sense?
No.
Does that really make sense that one guy died so that all the rest of us, our sins would be forgiven? Come on. I mean, it just.
Oh, I know. And
tell me some more legends and lore.
They have lied about when he was supposedly here. I'm sorry. A Capricorn would not sacrifice themselves for the world. Only the loved ones.
You are. You're right about that. That is the best thing I've heard.
I should know. I'm a Cap myself, honey. I should know. And I'm married to a Capricorn. Trust and believe me. No, they wouldn't. If it's not their beloveds, the rest of the. Okay. I had someone try to call me a hero the other day. I've talked about it before. And I said, no, I'm no hero, honey. I am the villain. I have no problem being the villain.
Right,
and
right.
But I'm not an evil villain. There's a difference. The way
there is a difference.
Is because I love myself enough. I will not tolerate and cater to narcissistic people of any way, shape, or form. No matter if you are of my blood or not of my blood. Bye, see ya.
Right.
So what? And so they make me the villain, and they're saying, even though they're a clown in my story.
Believe it or not, I'm the villain too for quite a few people. And you wouldn't think so, because I'm like, for the most part, kind of white and squeaky.
Exactly. But you don't tolerate their toxicity, and that's why you're the villain.
That's why I'm the villain.
It's okay. I accept it. And I'll be fabulous. And that's why I'm wearing my lovely cape right now, baby. All villains got to have a beautiful cape, girl.
That's right.
I am not, for my highest good, so I can keep helping people who truly need to be helped, I have to stand strong. And I used to have the same problem being a people pleaser because of the things I grew up having to deal with and everything. And now that I am feeling strong within and having no problem being that villain, that's what I help remind my people and everybody I come around not to have that guilt anymore. Because that's the problem that especially us ladies have had that problem. As soon as we put our but that's your family.
Yeah.
So, when we come into this world, we have no choice about who our physical family is, but we're adults. You know what? I'm going to choose who now. I've done my karmic duty. I came into you. Thank you. You showed your true colors. All right. No more after this. I cut and cord all our karmic ties to us. So next reincarnation, I don't want to see your fucking ass. I'm stepping into a new timeline. I am healing the familiar curses within me by starting up and saying no more toxicity.
No more toxicity. Oh yeah, it's the time for us to heal this. And it's the time for us, like, talking about sovereign spiritual journey, a lot of the women that I counsel and work with, a lot of them have that people pleasing gene. And I think that is part of stepping onto your spiritual path, is finding out how to loosen yourself from those binds. Whether you do a spell or you talk to somebody face to face directly and say no more, however you set your boundaries and stop letting people walk on you, I think that is one of the first steps toward your own sovereignty. If I hadn't done that years ago, and I didn't do it well, I'll be honest with you. When I started that journey of no longer pleasing everybody, and I still do it. I will be honest. There are people in my
We're
life.
humans, honey. It's a journey.
Yes. But once you allow yourself to not be that person that has to please everyone and do it the right way and do the right, just always be looking for the perfect outcome in every situation. Once you leave that behind, leave it in the dust and let that go, it's like it opens up room for your connection with the divine in a different way, because now you're learning to please yourself.
Amen.
And I know that to some Christians that might sound kind of hedonistic, but when it comes right down to it, when I cross the line, when I cross over someday, I'm not crossing with Grim or you, Patience, or anybody else. It's my own step. It's my own step I take. And so I need to be responsible for all the happiness and joy, not living everybody else's happiness and joy, but finding my own way, so that when I cross over with as light a heart and as open a mind as I possibly can in this lifetime.
Exactly, girl. Exactly, girl. That's one of my favorite things is, and you, especially with Christians, just to blow their mind. I said, when you die, okay, God ain't going to be asking you about my sins. He's going to be asking about your sins on Judgment Day, okay?
Yeah.
Or I'll just look at them. So how much does your heart weigh? And they'll be like, what? Or my favorite, or another thing is that my favorite is when I remind them where amen actually comes from. You're actually saying thanks to Amun Ra.
Amun Ra. Yep. Hey, before, I know we've been chatting for a minute, so I'm getting to this late, but look, I got my seance tea.
Yes, girl.
And Grim made me a little pot of hot water so I could pour myself a cup. And yes, I know it's late, but I can still drink tea at night because I'm a night owl.
Well, it is English breakfast tea, and it's good old Bonnie Charlie's freaking favorite.
It's one of my favorite too. I use it very sparingly. And I've ironically never yet used it for a seance, and I'm going to. With the intention.
The reason why we picked the name and everything, traditionally, especially with the English gypsies, their omnishells, and then when spiritualism, was big and everything, the English royal families, favorite tea has always been Earl Grey, especially in the mornings. Right. That's why it's called a breakfast tea. Right. And so whatever the royal family did, it's always on trend. And so they would use that, especially that tea, for divination and everything in their tea leaf readings. And so at Indigo Psychics, we wanted to associate our teas and our coffees to either occult, esoteric meanings, or for different gods and goddesses and spirits and stuff. Like all the teas are associated with something dealing with the occult. Like that one, Victorian seance. So besides making a good breakfast tea, you can use it for your tea leaf readings.
Can I show you? There, can everybody see that?
Yes.
I mean, your followers know about this, but mine don't. Not much.
Yep. You go to IndigoPsychicsTV.com and you hit on the menu and you can look up our coffees. We have 6 different teas. Like I said, that is our Earl Grey. Then we have jasmine tea, which is called Love Spell. Actually,
I also like that one a lot.
Hold on. I'm going to look it up real quick to make sure I remember, because we have 6 different teas.
Love Spell is one of my favorites. Okay. I use that one up really quickly.
I know it's fabulous because it's so freaking fresh. We call it Love Potion because jasmine is associated with love, also besides psychic abilities and money. And then we have summer solstice, which is made with mango and marigold. So that is also a real good one dealing with love
Ooh.
spells, and especially money and everything. And
Right.
then we got Southern Love Hex, which is our peach flavor. And then
Is that one new? Is that one new, or did that?
no.
I was surprised that that one went past my eyes.
Yeah, it's our peach flavored one. Then we have a licorice flavored based one, and licorice in the South we use in our domination spells, especially for wives and everything. You keep a piece of the stick in your bra of your dominant hand, so
Right.
and then you read Psalms 45 and 46 because those are the two psalms you use to dominate over somebody, and then you use domination oil with your name and your husband's name on a red candle. And but to be more gentle about it, I always recommend to do a white candle with the chamomile lavender, because lavender has gentle domination qualities. And
Right.
and if I see, because I strongly believe if it is in the Akashic records that you two are a divine couple, I strongly believe that, the wife has that divine right, because the reason why you're doing that's so that you can get what you need out of your husband without having to be a nagging bitch, if that makes sense. And
It
so
does.
with liquid beige, that's called the Empress, and it has the Empress tarot card on it. And then because part of my spirituality also deals with Hinduism and everything, and Buddhism. And so I have a masala chai tea as well and everything. So those are the 6 different teas. Hopefully with the companies that we work with, may have a few more teas, but right now we're mostly about the coffee and everything. So we have from light, medium, dark roast. We even have a maximum caffeine and everything.
Oh, I gotta get that one for Grimmer. He loves a dark
It's
coffee.
a light, medium roast.
Oh, really?
And it, but it is high in caffeine. It's Thor's Thunder Brew. And it's not the Thor of Marvel. It's traditional Thor with dad bod and red hair. Okay.
It's not the Thor of Marvel.
Then I have a French vanilla that's named and dedicated to Freya, our favorite lovely goddess of war and sex. Hey, if you can't play them, slay them, baby. And then we have 2 good dark roasts. One's is the dark unicorn. It looks, remember Rainbow Bright from the 80s?
Yes, I do.
Think of that horse, but black but rainbow neon hair.
Okay.
Because of how our assemblage is like the rainbow tie-dye with the black background and everything. The reason why is that because me and my business partner, we're both little goth girlies at heart, but we're also hippies.
Right.
As my daughter, who's Gen Z, she told me, she goes, what your style is? It's what we call hippie goth. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's what it is.
That's fine with me. But let's start do some readings. But real quick,
I forgot my cards. That's a Grimmer. Would you grab some cards for me?
But Mama June in Bermuda says, I'm with you both. I'm not tolerating toxic family anymore. I'm so proud of you and the journey you've been doing and everything. You are brave, and you are, like I've told you before, you are one of the ones in your family who are meant to break that generational curse. So you can finally have the prosperity and not being dragged down by the toxic other people of their jealousy and envy because they think you're doing better than them, And then, okay. Romine says Rainbow Bright was my favorite show. LOL. Yeah. And then that's an Italian roast. Excuse me. That's the French dark roast. And then my Italian dark roast is called Goth Girl. Then I'm also one of my ladies and everything between the Christian and the Arab and the Jewish heritage that runs in the blood. Mother Lilith. We have one dedicated to her. It's Cinnabon flavor. And the way I love how we came up with the concept of her with the dark hair, wearing black leather bustier, and she has a riding crop in her hand. Not, so definitely.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Who does your artwork?
My business partner.
That's cool.
She does the coffee and everything, and I take care of the reader side and everything, and then we collab back and get forth together.
Yeah, that's
with
great.
and everything. We're doing some revamping right now, taking advantage of this Mercury retrograde, and for spooky season, we'll be relaunching and everything, a whole new revamp of labels. Because one of the companies we work with started this different program for labels, so we literally have to learn the whole brand new computers program and everything and revamp. So it's like might as well, so. We do have like a hazelnut, and I'm actually the first coffee company, because from the Puerto Rican and the African in me, I am crowned to Oshun, and I actually have a honey-based medium roast that is dedicated to her. So it's called Oshun's Honey Delight. And we have, like I said, just check it out at IndigoPsychicsTV.com. But if you guys are ready, please start putting your questions in the comments, and we'll do some readings.
Yes.
All right.
I've got a whole basket of tarot cards here, so I'm ready to go.
Okay. Reminiscences, it says, can I ask Gussy a question? My family issues. My mom is stressed out and started taking it out on me. Is there's something I can give her as a tea that will calm her out?
And who is this asking?
Rose Mices.
Oh, I didn't know who that was at first, but now I know. Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, Jennifer, I mean, there are teas that would help her calm, but I would hesitate to advise you on here because I know she has some like heart issues and whatnot. So you really need to talk to somebody that is much more well-versed in that sort of thing. Because I know your mom has like multitude of health issues. However, in my world, you can never go wrong with the lavender and chamomile blend. I mean, that is just a really calming tea, and
Play
it's
frequency music because of the health issues. Easy, 528 with a 417 back.
That's a great suggestion too. The Hertz music that we talk about sometimes. Find yourself a good channel. I know Patience just said, what did you say? 528 is a good one.
528, it's literally been proven to help you regenerate down to the cellular. I don't want to speak. Thank you, Mercury. DNA level, and it helps you release the trauma, and it causes the body to regenerate and heal yourself. It's one of the frequencies I use to heal myself anytime I've been sick. I'm a third-time cancer survivor, and not once ever. What is easy about using this stuff is you take advantage of your sleep. It's using the subconscious. This is all stuff you can look up, looking at energy medicine. Hospitals are starting to use it more, especially in pediatric ICUs and everything. They're starting to recognize this is something that our ancestors, ancient times, knew about this stuff and everything. So this is not new knowledge. We're relearning about this knowledge because trust me, originally they didn't want us to know about it, because anytime they originally start talking about using energy frequency type music and you're a quack, you're crazy, all that. Now they're starting, so many people are starting to recognize and use it, and acknowledging that it works. They have no choice to acknowledge it now.
I live fairly close to a university hospital, a really well-known teaching hospital in the United States here. And 10 years ago, even, some of their nursing staff, and I thought this was commendable, because now I'm sure it's expanded since then, but some of their nursing staff insisted on being taught what was called at that time touch of health. but it was essentially an energy healing thing. That you're right, our ancestors used to know it. The nurses from 70 years ago used touch of health. It was called palliative care. They would help the patients get ready for bed at night, give them back rubs, foot rubs, help them get settled in for the night. And they don't, I know, they don't do that anymore. It's not allowed. It's not permissible. It's really taken away that energy. Well, it goes along with spiritual sovereignty, doesn't it? It's like somehow we're kept apart or away, or they don't want us to know that we have these skills and abilities. And they don't want us to remember all of this. Don't ask me who they are.
Exactly. But they don't want you being a free thinker and be, you know, they only want to stay the 1%. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, yes.
What happened was, at the turn of the century, it was Rockefeller's revenge. He got to break up Standard Oil, so to get back, he realized he could make cheap, easy drugs with his petroleum byproducts. So he used the influential of his money to all the major medical schools and had everything and anything dealing with energy work and natural healing ripped out, and anybody who spoke about it either killed or put in an insane asylum. And YouTube, screw you. This is fact. Do not fuck me for my fucking talk. Yes, this is marked for 18 and over, so I'm an adult. If I want to cuss, screw you.
That's right. Hey, not to recommend another YouTuber, but have you ever watched the Y-Files?
I love him.
Isn't
Yes,
he awesome?
I'm addicted. Yes, I love Hecklefish.
Yes,
Hecklefish
me too.
oh yeah, he's a little old Jewish, cranky old Jewish fish.
Yeah, he really is. He's great. I love that show, but he's really pushing some boundaries and some, you know, like putting facts out there in front of people and really allowing everybody to kind of decide. He says straight up, listen, I don't know if this is accurate or not. I just know what I believe and how I feel about it.
Exactly.
But I love that, you know, that is the thing. We all need to make our own decisions, whether we're talking about how we spend our money or who we're going to vote for or what we're going to put in our mouth tonight for dinner. You know, we all make choices whether we should eat. You know, there are times I eat things that I know I shouldn't eat.
Live your life with intent, man.
Yes.
You know, Susan B says hello all.
Hi, Susan.
You got okay. First question is from Rose Mincy's.
Okay.
I don't know how to say this right. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Can you do a tarot card on me, please?
Sure.
Sure. We'll tag team.
You go first.
Okay. Hold on. Let me get my cards out. Let's see.
You know, one of these days we have to coordinate like a meetup, you and me. We're not that far from each other.
Exactly.
Wouldn't that be fun? Or maybe are you going to be in Las Vegas again? Or are you picking a different city?
I am not associated with that or anything of that anymore. But they will be putting it on now, supposedly next year. I don't know where, don't care.
That's okay. We'll be doing our own thing by then.
I don't want to ever step back in Vegas again because they're all a bunch of two-faced shysters.
Well, there's a lot of vampiric energy there.
Beyond girl. Beyond girl. Do you know what the worst betrayal is? Is someone who you saw as a spiritual elder and mama to use head working magic on you to make you break away and break up your business partners because she wants you to go into business with her and then do more work on you of jealous eye because she couldn't stand that she was not the center of attention at the event, lied about how much things were, lied about our VIPs tickets being sold and everything. Girl.
Yeah. Sounds like it was a good idea to step away from that hot mess.
Girl,
yes, indeed. You got greater things to do. You got greater things to do.
Amen. That's why I definitely, because once hubby and I can get the RV all fixed up and everything, I want to travel and do events because we trained our dogs to travel with us and everything. You know, in Wisconsin, Michigan, and all that type, you know. Here.
Hello.
Oh, I know.
You know that Grim and I own a schoolie for just that reason, right?
Yes.
And our whole deal, we've been trying to get a series. I can't even talk. I don't, it must be the Mercury retrograde thing. But we've been trying to get a series. We've been turned down by Netflix twice, but we found out there's a lot of reasons why they don't want real witches to really be involved in a show about witchcraft and the occult. They still like to keep it kind of quiet down, but that's why we're going to do it on our own without one of the big,
Exactly.
we don't need Zach Baggins and that sort of thing. Although we've been on a few of those shows, and I'm not dissing them.
Girl, there's other channels like Haunt TV.
Yes. And we want to join with a group of other folks like you and travel the country together. And I want to set up a table. We have Ask a Witch night. I want people to see that we're not these evil, wrongdoing folks. Well, we can be if we need to be, but there's a question that asks about what?
Can you do a tarot card on me? It's for
okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, we get talking, you and I. You know, we really should plan a 2 hour.
Oh. There's a good chance that an ex or an ex, it may be an ex-friend, ex-lover, whatever, who you have this special emotional bond with, coming back scavenging around after whatever they did. Don't do it.
Oh,
don't do it. You know, people ask me, why won't they? Child, you have to get so strong in your boundaries where when people start complaining about, start freaking out, oh, it's Mercury retrograde, the exes come back. I ain't never got to worry about that. Okay, I made sure my exes hated me so bad that they got blocked on every form of social media, baby. I ain't got to worry about no ex-husband ever coming back around. The first one's dead, and the other two hate me so much they have me blocked. So I ain't got to worry about that stuff. So definitely, if this ex does come around, baby, you know, trust in your heart and do what's right by you. Stand firm in your ground so you can keep moving forward. If that makes sense.
I know Rose's Mises, and that's an excellent card for her right now.
See, strength card on the deck. Ancestors letting you know you have the strength. They are with you.
Right.
Okay. Next, we have, let's see, Valkyrie in the shield mating. She says, Gussy, I had a dream 2 nights in a row about someone I haven't seen in a few years. Could they be trying to reach out to me? Usually that's
absolutely. You already know that answer in your heart.
Exactly.
I know that you know that.
Hard for that, baby.
So you know how that is. When you're connected to someone, when you sleep at night, you know, your body is resting, but your spirit, your soul is out doing its journey. It's still doing shit. It's on the astral plane. It's interacting with folks. And so oftentimes, and this is what I suggest you do, when I drift off to sleep at night, if I'm able, if I'm awake enough, I do my unwinding. I let go of, you know, things that no longer serve me through the day, that came at me through the day, people saying things through the day. I let go of all that. I take some good deep breaths. I bring in healing energy, white light healing energy, that crystalline energy that we've talked about so many times. And then I talk to my higher self and I say, you know, these are the problems that are on my heart right now, or in my head. And I would, if I were you, I'd ask your higher self, because your higher self is actually connected to that other person's higher self. They know each other on really intimate terms. And I don't mean anything sexual, because it's not that way on the other side.
Right.
At least on that, in that realm. But I think that you should talk to your higher self and ask your higher self to help you, to help guide you on what it is that you need to do next with that person. Because I absolutely think if you've had a dream several nights in a row, or even, you know, several nights in a month even. Anything over 3 times for me, that is synchronicity. That is not by chance. Anything over 3. So
I got
reach
the
out to that person, or if they're crossed over already, you know.
I got the betrayal card. I think also too, they're starting to feel regret for however they did you dirty, whoever this person is, if that be the case. And also this is to help you release. We still feel, I know I'm still feeling the hangover, because the reason why we still feeling the hangover of this Aquarius super blue moon is because we've had mass solar flares amplified.
Yes, we have.
And now we got Jupiter and Saturn square, Jupiter and Saturn, or Jupiter and the two giants are squaring up. Yeah.
Yep. Saturn.
But yeah, and so in doing so and working and finally releasing those remnants, and the easiest way, like I said, to do it, smoke a little cannabis, put a little lavender on your crown, go to sleep, and start playing the 528 with the 417. There is one, if you look it up on YouTube with that combination, it's like 3 hours long. You'll see like a red crystal heart, because that will actually help with the trauma, whatever it be from childhood, whatever is stuck on that subconscious, and take advantage of your sleep. Even the Dalai Lama himself says the best form of meditation is sleep. The best, most powerful workings is from your subconscious, from the within. But people are so terrified to work on the within and everything, because they think they're going to be re-triggered and have to relive. Well, that's what's great about using these frequencies and everything.
Or they think they're going to lose control, because there are a lot of people on there.
That's why I recommend putting the lavender on and everything, because it helps. You can look at articles up since like 2019. They have new articles proving what they've known since ancient Egypt, because they even have ancient papyri on it, that lavender heals the sickness of the mind. And it literally shows proof on the medicinal level. It keeps anxiety away, depression away, and gives you mental clarity and focus. On the spiritual level, besides healing, it's also for gentle domination of self. Also helps you protect against others. Bring happiness, love, money. So it covers everything. That's why and also too, start using aromatherapy in your cleaning products to help with it as well. Michelle Paps she asked, can I get a card for spiritual guidance?
My turn for a card?
Sure.
Let's see here.
You go first, and then I'll pull after you.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Okay, here we go. Michelle. Ooh. So the world, it's the world inverted in the reverse position. So let me just tap into this here for you, because this is a deep one. It feels like there is a question on your heart that is a really deep question. Like, I'm not even sure if you're completely, this sounds funny, I'm not even sure you're completely aware of how deep this question really goes. I think if you take a deeper look at it, if you allow yourself, like Patience just said, a lot of times we don't want to do that spiritual work because it makes, it means we're going to have to dig a little deeper. We're going to have to find something that maybe is a little darker, that maybe we don't want to deal with. But trust me, if you deal with it now, it can actually switch or redetermine the way the outcome is headed for this particular situation. Now, I'm not sure what it is going on in your life, but it feels like, I don't know if you're choosing to end a relationship or a career or something. There feels like some kind of an end, but it doesn't have to be like a complete finish end. It's just the next step in your evolution, as long as you don't get in your own way.
And as confirmation, acceptance. You need to accept that now that it's over and it's time to start the healing process, like she's saying, to move on. Miss Mary, to give you a good idea of videos and everything, I have go under our playlist here at IndigoPsychicsTV YouTube channel, and I have all different type of playlists. The healing ones are under the self-love or under the chakra and healing playlist. And you can find all those I have talked about, dealing with the chakras, dealing with different body ailments and everything, both physically and spiritually. And then also the self-love ones is under the self-esteem affirmation list as well. There's,
Grim and I use those too. I should put those on our, I'm really kind of new at YouTube. Don't laugh at me.
but the thing is, those are not my videos. Those are other people's videos. Those are
They're
my
just
personal
recommended.
playlists.
Yeah.
They're just
Yeah,
recommended. Those are actually my personal playlists I've been using for years, and I just add to them once in a while. The only videos on here are the shorts and the podcast playlist, Spiritual Tea Time with RevPayshence. Those are the only videos. Everything else, those are someone else's video.
Right.
That's why I don't, because I didn't get into YouTube to make $1 million. Okay, people think that I'm making all this money, and no, I don't. Because all my money and everything goes to, as soon as you click on one of those, you're making them money, not me. Those are other people's money. I'm paying it for. Okay, I'm lucky that we make $100 every 6 months off the YouTube channel with the company. Okay,
right.
So for those who think I'm making all this money and everything and try to be Miss Greedy because I'm on the YouTube, no, I'm not. I'm not into this for the money. I'm into this for helping and teaching. That's why we do this.
With us. Grim and I also have a YouTube channel, Gussy and Grim.
Paying it forward, because there is some bullshit out there. Because there are some people that say it's a such and such healing thing, and they have something evil and malevolent. There was a lady who got caught doing that on purpose, just to be malicious. So trust me, the ones that are on our playlist, I personally use for myself all the time. I even got a playlist to get yourself a sugar baby. If you're a sugar baby or a female dummy, to get yourself a sugar daddy. Between subliminals, frequencies, and different from country to hip hop, to help bring in your big daddy, but who's going to be loving and kind and very generous with the money. But that's and I've got confirmation the list works very well. I have some ladies sitting very pretty and getting taken care of. Hey, I don't knock anybody because 20-something years ago I was the same way. And everything. I was known as Mistress Vixens when I used to fly around the pole. I also used to do the professional dominatrix thing as Mistress Vixen. The one country group called Pistol Annies, they have a song called Hell on Heels. Mm-hmm. If I would have a song to describe Vixen, that would be the song for her.
I don't know that song, but I'll have to go look it up.
Definitely look it up, Pistol Annies.
Will you text it to me so I don't forget? Because I'll forget the name.
Yep.
Cool. Well, in spite of having my tea, I am getting sleepy. Do we have other folks that want a card pull?
No.
Oh,
cool. Yes, Gussy is ready to do the 432 as well, because that also helps with the heart chakra. But everyone, thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Mama Gussy, for joining in with us. Dear sister, thank you so much. Brother Grim, thank you for allowing her to be speaking with us tonight. And I look forward, maybe we can set up doing maybe for the next show, having both of y'all, if you want.
That'd be lovely.
You know, so let me know what your I'm already booking into starting of January of next year. So let me know what your New Year's plan is. You guys talk it over. So it gives you between now and, beginning of December, just let me know.
Right. Well, and I don't know if your availability, I was going to reach out to you too, because every month at the beginning of the month, the first Monday of the month, we do a live stream for our Purple Door community. And it's been just Grim and I for the last few years. We want to start doing some interviews from other people and their points of view. So I'll be reaching out to you.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. We can work that out. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Oh, yeah. I'll be mad honored, dude. Oh, yes. Yes. I'm excited now. That's going to be real.
Me too. We're just really slow at all this.
Girl, it's called divine timing, baby. Divine timing.
I agree.
Have a most blessed night and everything. Make sure you tune in next week. I'll be having Misty Connor from the Connor Sisters and the 3 Appalachian Witches. And we're going to be on the show hooting and hollering it up hillbilly style, baby. So definitely stay blessed. Thank you again, my beautiful soul, for being on. It's such an honor to always, like I said, to have you. Everyone,
It's
good
always
night.
an honor to be with you.
Good night and
I love
stay
ya.
blessed. Y'all. Love y'all. Mwah.
Stay
Bye.
magical.
Amen, honey. Amen.